If you grew up in Nigeria, you already know one thing. Morning time does not give anybody warning. By 5 o'clock a.m., while half the city of Akure is still fighting with morning cold under heavy blankets, Mama Daniel is already standing beside a giant pan of boiling oil, frying akara. The hot steam hits her face continuously. Her eyes are perpetually red from wood smoke, but her hands never stop moving. And right beside her is Daniel, a 17-year-old boy, dressed in his TML Impact High School uniform. Daniel holds a long wooden spoon in his right hand, helping his mother drop raw bean paste into the hot oil. His left hand holds a heavy further mathematics textbook. He overthinks everything. He carries the heavy quiet fear that if he makes even one mistake in life, his mother will fry akara on this dusty street corner until her hands burn to the bone. He never asks for help. He believes he has to carry his family's survival entirely on his own shoulders. And at TML High School, that mindset made him a living legend, undisputed number 1. The boy who has held first position since GSS 1 without letting anybody smell the crown. Mama Daniel wipes her oily hands on her faded apron, pulls out a small roll of 100 naira notes and presses it into his palm. Take bus today, Daniel. Save your strength for school. You have that big test today. Daniel looks at the money. He knows how many hundreds of bean cakes his mother had to fry just to make that cash. He kisses her cheek, packs his bag and steps out into the cool morning air. He doesn't know it yet, but today, the pressure in his head is about to explode into an all-out war. TML Impact High School is not where you come to play. It is an elite castle built on reputation. Manicured green lawns, glass-faced 3-story blocks, and shiny SUVs dropping off the children of senators, oil barons, and real estate moguls every morning. Daniel enters through the massive wrought iron gates on foot, his worn shoes making quiet sounds. Out of nowhere, a heavy arm slaps across his shoulder, almost knocking him off balance. It's Femi, Daniel's loyal, loud-mouthed best friend, currently aggressively chewing on a hot meat pie.
The genius, working calculator, pride of SS3. Bro, VAT test starts today. Why are you walking like person that is taking a stroll in Victoria Island?
Femi, calm down now. It's just the first further maths test of the term.
Just further maths? I beg, leave story. I was seeing calculus integration formulas chasing me in my dream last night.
Before Daniel can answer, a sharp, arrogant voice cuts through the morning air from behind them.
Enjoy your small test, Daniel, because by the end of this term, nobody is going to remember your name.
That is Tunde Bakari, son of the State Commissioner for Works. Tunde has been sitting bitterly at number 3 since SS1, eating his heart out with pure burning jealousy. He hates Daniel, not because Daniel offended him, but because Daniel is poor, and in Tunde's mind, money should guarantee superiority. Daniel doesn't say a word. He just keeps walking, his fingers tightening slightly around the straps of his bag.
Look at that guy. Just because his father bought him an iPhone, he thinks he can talk to you anyhow.
Femi said. Suddenly, a shiny black Mercedes Maybach drives slowly through the school gates. Its dark tinted windows reflect the morning sunlight. The car comes to a gentle stop in front of the administrative block. 500 students stand in their TML maroon school uniform inside the Grand Assembly Hall. The air is thick with anticipation. Standing on stage is Chief Otumba Bamidele, a famous alumnus who makes billions in real estate. He wears a majestic white agbada that sweeps the floor. Standing quietly behind him is his personal lawyer, And standing right beside the lawyer is a new girl, Zara Ahmed. Brand new uniform, tailored to perfection, sharp analytical eyes, posture straight like a steel rod. She doesn't smile. She doesn't look around nervously like new students do. She just stands there, watching the crowd with a calm, dangerous composure. The principal steps up to the microphone.
Students of TML Impact High. Silence. Today, history is being made in this institution. I yield the floor to Chief Otumba Bamidele.
Chief Bamidele steps forward, beaming with practiced charisma.
Good morning, TML. When I left these halls 25 years ago, I had patched shoes. Today, God has blessed me beyond measure, and I want to give back. To the student who emerges as the overall best graduating student of this academic year, I am establishing a fully funded global scholarship, up to 50 million naira. Tuition, accommodation, living expenses for any top university in the world. 50 million naira to secure your future.
50 million naira. The assembly hall turned into total chaos. Friends start grabbing each other's blazers. Teachers look at each other in sheer disbelief. Femi grabs Daniel by the shoulders, shaking him violently. Daniel, 50 million naira. That is your money. That is your ticket out of this country. In the middle of all the noise and chaos, on the stage, Chief Bamidele's lawyer leans in close to the chief's ear.
Sir, are you sure about this public announcement? You know what the board decided about the actual fund?
Shut up. They don't need to know everything yet.
Nobody in the hall heard those words. Nobody except Zara, who stands just 2 steps behind them. Her face doesn't move a single muscle. Eyes remain steady, fixed on the floor. Down in the crowd, Daniel stares up at the stage. 50 million naira. His mother's burnt fingers, the endless debts, his ticket to freedom. He looks up at Zara. At that exact moment, Zara lowers her gaze and looks directly down at him. For 5 long seconds, across a sea of screaming students, while the students are going crazy over the news, another battle is already taking place behind closed doors in the teacher's staff room. Mr. Ogundele, the strict further mathematics teacher, sits at his clustered desk, cleaning his round spectacles with a handkerchief. Across from him, Mr. Chukuma, the physics teacher, is pouring out tea.
Ogundele, you saw the announcement, $50 million. Tunde's father, the commissioner, came to see the principal this morning. They were talking for 30 minutes behind closed doors. Let the commissioner bring 100 million. On my answer sheet, money does not buy marks. Daniel Adeniran is the smartest student this school has seen in 15 years. Daniel is poor, Ogundele. If Daniel wins, the school gets glory. If Tunde wins, the school gets a new science lab funded by the state government. Think about your salary before you mark those papers.
Mr. Ogundele doesn't answer. He just opens his grade book and taps his pen against Daniel's name. By 11 o'clock a.m., the SS3 classroom feels hotter than a furnace. Nobody's cracking jokes anymore. Nobody's passing notes. The air is thick with pure suffocating anxiety. Students who usually sleep in class are now staring at their textbooks like their lives depend on it. Because now, they do. Mr. Ogundele walks in, slamming a thick stack of white examination paper onto the front desk. Advanced calculus, complex trigonometric proofs, and matrix algebra. 45 minutes, no calculator for section A. Begin. The room explodes into the fast aggressive sound of pens scratching against paper. Tunde is sitting near the middle row, craning his neck, trying to pick at his neighbor's sheets. Fem is chewing his pen cap until it crunches into tiny plastic pieces, sweat pouring down his forehead. And at the front row, Daniel is in his element. His pen dances across the paper, writing out complex line-by-line integration formulas. But his hands are sweating. He rechecks every calculation twice, overthinking it. Across the aisle, Zara moves with terrifying silent efficiency. Her hand is completely steady. Her pen glides across the paper without a single pause or erasure. 30 minutes in, Daniel finishes the last line of the test. He slams his pen down, wiping sweat from his forehead. At the exact same second, Zara turns her paper face down on her desk. They both look up. Across the aisle, their eyes meet. Zara slowly raises one single eyebrow, then turns her gaze out the window. Daniel sits back, breathing quietly. By lunchtime, the tension in TML Impact High School has turned into an underground economy. Inside the senior boys' bathroom, Kamsi, the class clown and rich slacker, is holding a thick stack of 1,000 naira notes. A group of students is crowded around him. Kamsi whispered loudly,
Listen up! Odds are 2-1 on Daniel taking first place in further maths. Who is putting money on the transfer girl?
Tunde already put 20,000 naira on himself. Femi stepped into the bathroom. He was furious. He said, Kamsi, you are betting on people's test scores. Are you mad? Kamsi grinned. Femi, calm down. Everybody wants to know if your boy is still untouchable. That new girl didn't come here to play. Oh. Did you see her answers? She didn't even use raw fork paper. Femi stands there, his hands in his pockets. He thinks about his home. His father hasn't been paid his state pension in 6 months. Femi swallows hard. He reaches into his pocket and pulls out a crumpled 2,000 naira note, his entire feeding allowance for the week. Femi slapped the money down. I put 2,000 on Daniel. He's going to crush her. Meanwhile, at the back of the building near the administrative block, Tunde stands in the shadow of the staircase. He pulls out his phone, dials a number, and presses it to his ear.
I need a favor. Find out everything you can on this new transfer student, Zara Ahmed. Who her family is, why she transferred mid-year, everything.
He hangs up, slipping the phone back into his pocket, his face completely cold. It was 3:30 p.m., the school's closing time. The sun beats down on the central corridor of the administrative block. A massive crowd of students has gathered around the glass notice board. Mr. Ogundele steps back, putting his staple gun into his pocket. He has just pinned the official further mathematics test results behind the glass. Femi uses his elbow like a bulldozer, shoving students left and right. Femi said, "Shift nah, get out of the way, let me see." Daniel walks up slowly behind him, his hands stuffed deep into his pockets. Tunde stands near the front of the crowd, watching with a quiet, dangerous smile. Femi reaches the glass board. He looks at the top line. His jaw drops. Femi gasped. He whispered, "Jesus Christ." The corridor goes dead silent. The noise, the shouting, the laughing, it all evaporates into thin air. Student after student turns around to look at Daniel. Whispers spread like electric currents. How is that even possible? Look at the numbers. Daniel steps past Femi and looks at the paper himself. Daniel Adeniro, 99/100. Zara Ahmed, 99/100. Tunde Bakare, 82/100. Femi Adebayo, 58/100. A tie between Daniel and Zara. Daniel doesn't speak. He stands completely still in the front of the class. 99% to 99%. For the first time in 3 years, someone is sitting on the throne right beside him. Few seconds later, footsteps echoed down the corridor. It was slow and unhurried. Zara walks past the crowd, her expensive leather bag slung casually over one shoulder. She doesn't even pause to look at the board. She already knows what is written there. Daniel turns around and called out, "Zara!" Zara stops dead in her tracks. She takes about 5 steps away from him. She doesn't turn around. She doesn't look back at him. She just stands there in the sunlight. Zara replied,
I expected more.
"I expected more." And without another word, she walks away, her shoes tapping softly against the tile floor, leaving the corridor in breathless silence. Daniel's fingers slowly tighten around the heavy straps of his backpack. The air around him suddenly feels much more quieter than before. By 6:00 p.m., the street corner in Daniel's neighborhood is dark, and it was lit only by a single flickering street lamp. The neighborhood generator hums softly in the background. Mama Daniel is still standing over the giant black pot, frying the last batch of akara for the night. Her face looks exhausted under the yellow lights. Daniel walks up quietly. He just came back from school. He had to trek from school back home. He dropped the school bag onto the worn wooden bench. Mama Daniel looks up, wiping sweat from her forehead with the back of her wrist. She offers him a warm, weary smile. Mama Daniel said, "My boy, welcome. So, you came first again today, right?" Daniel turns his head away, unlacing his dusty school shoes with slow, heavy movements. Mama Daniel stops what she's doing. She notices the silence immediately. Daniel,
what happened?
She asked. Daniel looks up at his mother's face, at the dark circles under her eyes, and then down at her hands, covered in faint scars from years of hot oil burns. Daniel replied, "Mama, I tied for the first time." Mama Daniel let out a soft laugh of relief, shaking her head as she turns back to her pan. Mama Daniel replied, Daniel, you tied for the first time out of all those rich children in that big school. Daniel, that is still very good now. At least you tied. It's not as if you came last." Daniel looks at his mother's tired back. He reaches into his bag, his fingers brushing against the paper flyer for the 50 million naira scholarship. Daniel whispered softly, "Mama, I'll get us out of here." Daniel stops. He reaches into his pocket and pulls out his basic Android phone. The screen lit up in the dark streets. A new message from an unknown number. He taps it open, and the message read, "Congratulations on tying for the first time. Next time, I won't be so merciful." Daniel stares at the glowing screen. There was no name. The message was sent from an unknown number. Across the streets, the wind blows cold through the dark alleyway. Now let me ask you, who do you think sent that message? Who are your possible suspects? Is it Zara? Is it Tunde? Is it the sponsor? Is it a teacher? Or is it someone who knows Daniel's past? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. If you know you enjoyed watching this video, please make sure you hit the subscribe button to subscribe to my channel, like this video, drop your thoughts down in the comment section, and I'll see you in episode 2. Stay safe out there, guys. Good night.